which was all seemingly part of Commander Irwin and Captain Levi's plan. Mm-hmm. And Levi kicked the literal teeth out of Eren, but he grew it back. So he can recover even if he's not a Titan.
Yeah, we were speculating, was there steam? Like, was he, like, about to transform into a Titan and that's why? Or is it just, like, now that's part of him is that he can regenerate like that?
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see in the future if he gets some type of cut, wound, maybe even loses a limb as his human Eren self and see what happens.
Yeah, me too. We also met Niall Dock, who was a piece of shit. He was the commander of the police regiment. He, like, I get you. Like, he was fighting for their side, for their sake. They don't know what we do about Eren. They didn't see him in action.
Even if they did know, I don't think they care. I think they side with the society that was thinking that this would become a civil war if the poor people, the common people, had something like Eren on their side. And I don't know, like, why would you immediately go for, they're gonna fight us instead of the actual giant things that are killing them? Like, no. No.
Yeah.
Maybe after they kill the giant things, but not now.
So, we were also introduced to the Wallists, which I think is a religion.
Yep. It's some
that the walls were created and brought to us by gods.
Yes.
Or
and you
a
cannot
god.
touch them or change them in any way.
Yeah. That was wild.
Broken.
That was a wild addition. And I guess we got our mission, right? We are going to try to retake land, and I have Ziganshina district down, but that's probably wrong.
That definitely. I mean, it's correct in spelling, but it's probably incorrect in pronunciation.
Yeah. So we have our mission. I don't know how the logistics are going to play out. I don't know how anything's going to play out, and I'm kind of hopeful. I mean, we saw like what Eren, when he was a Titan, could do to other Titans.
Yeah.
Obviously we saw Captain Levi like in action, and he's seemingly really good and like powerful with the ODM gear.
That's a character I have a lot of faith and trust in. Like, I have a lot of faith in Mikasa's abilities, but I feel like Levi is definitely up there of like, I'm like, they're gonna get it done.
Do you think that there are different tiers to the Survey Corps?
Probably.
Or like, so do you think like if Armin and Mikasa want to be in the Survey Corps, are they going to be with Eren necessarily?
That's what I'm wondering. Or
because I would think Eren's going to always be with Levi and Commander Irwin.
I'm wondering if they'd want to add Mikasa in there as an Mikasa and Armin as like a last ditch effort to keep Eren okay and regain control just in case.
I mean, everything Levi said is like, if he goes out of like,
I will kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would think they wouldn't want them around.
That's what I'm wondering. Exactly. I'm like, they wouldn't, because Levi wants to kind of train him like a dog, he said. So obviously you wouldn't want Mikasa and Armin to be there if you're trying to take control of a dog, a puppet, and kind of use Eren's Titan form to your advantage. I guess you wouldn't want Mikasa and Armin there. But I'm like wondering how much of a fight they'll put up and if they will be allowed to go with them anyway.
Yeah. I also had a question, like, obviously we know Mikasa's like crazy, right? She's so like, I guess, like, I don't know, talented. Like, she's an athlete, dude. I don't like, so she's the best, like, from the group that we were introduced to at first, seemingly at least, right? Like, she's the most inept, like, or she's the, it comes easy to her, seemingly. Yeah. She's so, like, talented, and the animation around her is crazy, the moves, everything.
The past.
How does she stack up against, like, Scout Regiment? Because we've only seen her really against, like, the trainees.
I know.
Is she, like, mid? Or is she, like, still as amazing as she seems to be in the past episodes?
I'm thinking she's probably up there. They, obviously, the commanders have had a lot of faith in her abilities, and like when they sent her with Eren, I think they didn't just do it because she was Eren's friend. I think they really did it because she has, like, she's a top tier talent.
Yeah.
And obviously that all stems from like that almost happening within her body in the past when she was kidnapped and her
Something
family was
snapped,
killed.
something
Something
shut
like
off.
snapped and
Yeah.
shut off within her. And obviously that's why she has this ability. I don't know if it was like exactly innate within her beforehand. Maybe she unlocked it and it was.
It went from like a normal person to superhuman strength, like
Mm-hmm.
with how she was gripping things, how she like was like jumping off of things. Like,
Yeah. I can't believe they brought up what happened to her and her family as like against Eren.
even
As
if it was in
this shows
self-defense.
I know. It shows a sign of like a lack of like humanity or whatever. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What?
And then they were like, "Is Mikasa a Titan too?"
Yeah, okay. I wasn't surprised that they actually I wasn't surprised that they went into that territory, but
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily expecting when they were going to start talking like that, because obviously that does beg the question. Is Eren the only one? Are there others like him? Or his friends like him?
Given the information that we have, yes, he's the only one because he's the only one we got a flashback
Yeah,
of
the
his dad
flashback.
giving him the shot. Last thing to touch on before we get into it, we saw the like painting.
Oh, on the ceiling of
ceiling.
like the courtroom?
I thought that was so weird, man. Like
It was perfect, I think, for what that episode really taught us about the society.
Civil War.
And that like you'd think that all of these people came together with this common enemy, and obviously they literally have depictions in their courtroom of humans killing other humans. So I think it was really telling, and I think it really built this like more worldwide like narrative of the society.
Yeah, I just don't on it. I'm assuming it was a painting of something in the past, and that really like messes with me because like I feel like they are either censoring everything from humanity's past or what's outside the wall, or they're being very selective with what they are giving the society on like within the walls. And if they're being very selective with that information, then how deep does the manipulation lie? That makes me think that the higher ups are extremely corrupt.
They could use it as a way to kind of bring everyone together under this like goal, you know, like, oh, yes, we used to do this and civil wars used to be a thing, but now humankind has a common enemy and we're not going to be divisive or anything because we all have this common enemy. We're not going to go against the status quo or the norm that's been paved for us because we have this common giant enemy. Don't look other ways. Don't look in other directions.
Yeah.
Don't try to call out any type of
Political leaders or
political
any, like,
leaders or
wrongdoing
anything
within
bad
society.
happening in your society because look, giant naked people. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah. All right, I'm ready. You?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Little recap.
I cried like at 5 different times last episode.
Bet everything you have on me was such a good line. Do you have the name of Glasses Girl?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No. No, it's right
Hanji.
there.
Hanji Zoe. And Mike Zacharias?
Yeah.
Zacharias? He smells people?
Yeah, he smells people and then he smirks after he does it. And apparently they don't know if it means anything, but at this point their deductive reasoning says it doesn't mean anything. I'm ready for that counteroffensive.
The old Survey Corps headquarters. Old castle, like pre-Titan?
Maybe.
Is he a Captain Levi simp?
Yes.
Did he bite his lip?
Accidentally, I think. Bit your tongue, yeah.
Bit your tongue.
His
She kind of
plan-
looks like Nobara.
She does. Or Nubara looks like her.
Big facts.
Is that why his hair's like that?
Petra. What?
What?
Special Operations Squad.
Squad Levi. Titan kills 10. Ooh, I
10.
love the stats.
Assists. What? There's so many. Gunther kills 7.
They're selected by Levi.
Yeah.
中も埃だらけだろ。それは重大な問題だ。急に取り掛かるぞ。
Cleaning? Yeah! What?
We know that he doesn't like having Titan blood on him from the first time we saw him, right?
And now we know he just really likes clean things.
失望したって顔だね、エレン。
はい。
あ、エレンって呼ばせてもらうよ。世間の言うような完全無欠の英雄には見えないでしょ。現物のリヴァイ兵長は。
俺が意外だと思ったのは、上の取り決めに対する従順な姿勢です。誰の指図も意に介さない人だと。
Huh.
He does seem like that a little bit.
You have to take orders to rise the ranks, though, no?
人だったのかもね。
Before?
都の地下街で有名なゴロつきだったって。
What?
Excuse?
なぜ？
エルヴィン団長の元に下る形で調査兵団に連れてこられたって聞いたわ。
It does seem like Levi has a lot of respect for Erwin.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that thug face.
すべてやり直せ。
From this year's graduates. The squad. Do you think Aaron's upset that this is the reason he's in the scouts? Does he have ulterior motives? Does he want something out of reclaiming land?
エルヴィンのことだ。俺たちよりずっと多くのことを考えているだろう。突然全く別の希望が降って湧いた。だに信じられないんだが、巨人になるってのはどういうことなんだ。
その時の記憶は定かではないんですが、でもきっかけになるのは自傷行為です。
Self-inflicted injury. Okay.
あれ、そういえば俺はなんでこれだけは知ってるんだっけ。
Their memories, right?
あいつは黙ってないだろうがな。下手にいじくり回されて死ぬかもな。お前。あいつだ。
That's who I thought they were talking about. She just needed to get to Aaron.
Squad leader, Hanji.
私は今街で捉えた2体の巨人の生態調査を。
実験ですか。
Are they gonna see how they react to Aaron?
リヴァイ、明日のエレンの予定は？
庭の掃除だ。
ならよかった。エレン、明日はよろしく。
巨人の実験とはどういうものですか？巨人の実験とは。おい、やめろ。聞くな。
Oh no. She's one of those people.
Oh no, you
Give
just,
them
just
an
don't
inch and they
ask her
take a mile.
questions. Are they all leaving? Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
She'll tell you, you know, it's okay.
Aaron might just be genuinely interested in it though. Religious organizations. This is so weird to see.
This is really weird.
名前は？天気だね。お腹空いた？しかし私にとって巨人との交流は日々の疲れを忘れるほどあるところに人間を食う一族がいた。
How does she know that?
彼らは山の中腹にある洞窟に
Cannibals.
また始まったよ。分隊長の命名式。
Naming ceremony?
犯行を続けた。
25 years.
被害者は実に500人以上に上ったと。尻の肉はステーキに。もも肉は角切りにしてシチューに入れた。料理という概念があったんだ。そこがお前たちとの違いだね。しかしその人食い一族は捕らえられ死刑にされた。
Captured then executed. How long ago was this?
お前がソニー。
Sawney.
お前がビーンだ。
Bean.
Sonny Bean or Bean Sonny?
よろしくね、ソニー。ビーンもよろしく。
This is weird.
It is so weird.
It's weird that like it's followed like this is following her being like there's no communication. There's no way we could talk to them. They haven't responded with anything. And then she names them and likes them.
夜が深まると巨人の活動が落ちることから
What?
何かしらの活動力を得ている
This is so much fucking information.
によって個体差が大きく出た。
Individual differences.
1時間で活動が鈍くなった
Slowing down in an hour.
I mean, they never have attacked at night, it seems.
How tall was each one?
4 and 7?
Is he the taller
He's
one?
the taller one. Yeah, it's 4 and 7.
Okay. Are they like plants? Like photosynthesis? They need sunlight? Good question. Hanji's my best friend.
捕獲した子たちは誤って殺してしまったんだ。うなじまで削ってしまってね。チカチロウにと本当に悪いことをした。
The sympathy that she has is so weird.
I know, I'm trying to like figure it out.
そして次の段階からは巨人の体と接触する通覚の確認へと移行した。
Oh. Look at Aaron's face.
So bizarre.
That's how I feel right
yeah.
now. I mean, torturing anything I feel like would be difficult for me.
Why? Just cause smaller?
ハンジさん、巨人を前にしてそんなに陽気でいられるんですか？
私は巨人に仲間を何度も何度も目の前で殺された。憎しみを頼りに巨人と戦ってた。でもそんなある日私は気づいた。破断した3メートル級の生首を蹴っ飛ばした時だった。悪かったんだ。異常に巨人の体が。そもそも本来ならあの巨体が2本足で立ち、切断した腕はその質量にあるべき重量には到底達していなかった。巨人になった時も何もなかったところから巨人の体が現れたと聞く。
My head's going to explode.
私たちに見えているものと実在するものの本質は全然違うんじゃないか。憎しみを糧にして攻勢に出る試みはもう何十年も試された。私は既存の見方と違う視点から巨人を見
I respect that.
Trying a different path.
Yeah.
絡まるかもしれないけど。
But at least it's something different.
私はや
What did she say?
We need to go back after the episode. I wanna re
Yeah, me
hear
too.
what she said.
調査兵団に入ってから驚かされてばかりだ。変わり者だらけ。変革を求める人間の集団。それこそが
They're the ones who are closest to the Titans.
だったら実験の話をもっと聞かせていただけませんか？
いいの？
はい。
Honestly, same.
知っておいた方がいいかと思いますし。
Oh, he wants to try so hard.
もっと詳細に話すとしよう。
Please.
ちょっと長くなるけど、最初に巨人を捕獲した時に私はこう仮定してみた。
Do we not get to hear it?
得られた情報はね。
Oh. Maybe because there was no new information? Oh, look at the bags under her eyes.
知ってるよね。
It's everything he already knew.
まず巨人との
半人分たちはいますが、被験体が巨人が2体とも殺されました。
Bye.
She's gonna be so upset.
Livid.
Did somebody kill them?
I'm wondering.
兵士がやったのか。
One of the...
犯人はまだ見つかってない。
They are valuable to learning freaking more about Titans.
They were killed at the same time.
They used maneuver gear to get away.
計画的わけか。
Involving 2 or more people?
見ろよ。君には何が見える？敵は何だと思う？すまない。変なことを聞いたな。
What do you think the enemy is?
People that don't
People.
want us to learn any more information.
Yeah.
That
Hell
have
fucking
no
yeah.
knowledge. That
Hell
don't want us to
fucking
read
yeah.
freaking books.
That was such a good episode. Holy shit. Oh my god. Okay.
It must mean that there's something that could be learned from
Yeah.
the Titans
With-
that is already known
So-
by someone.
So, without... What do you think the enemy is? Okay, hold on. What?
And we already heard that he possibly has some other story he's not telling.
Yes.
Some other motive, something.
Okay. So, without that, the Commander Irwin scene right there, I was like, oh, it's people. I bet they're just people who can't even understand Hanji sympathizing with it and just think they're so disgusting and want to get rid of them. That makes perfect sense to me. That is 100.
It does, but I feel like it's very surface level makes sense.
No, you're right, and but that's what I was like thinking, like in that instant, 100%. Like, and then Irwin says this. It's 100. Like, it has to be people not wanting them to know something. I'm thinking it's like a higher control, the same people who don't want history to get out.
Yeah.
What is there? Okay, we have to go through before we can actually discuss, because I feel like we got so much information.
We learned a lot of like really interesting stuff. I mean, I'm just really still stuck on like how much they weigh and the thin air thing with them Aaron's transformations.
Okay, real quick, need to re-understand. He's a benefit to humanity as soon as possible, talking about Aaron to Mike. Otherwise, we'll have the military police after us again. You're even using that story on me.
So that's not why Irwin wants this to be a success.
There is ulterior motives, but to gain more knowledge, I guess. So use Aaron to go out to see more of the world. I'll tell you when the time comes. Who's Mike?
Well, also, you just said something really interesting with to go out into the new world. All of these people in the Survey Corps probably have been outside the walls.
Oh,
the ones that have survived.
Without a doubt.
And they're older.
That's probably why they're so odd.
They're all interested in knowing more about something. Yeah. They're all interested in putting themselves out there. No one else is interested in, like, leaving their cozy, walled interior.
Yeah, and so... who is Mike to Irwin? Like, we met him last episode, but like...
Mike just might be, you know how Hanji is a captain? Maybe Mike is also a squad leader? Because
obviously it seemed like he had some authority or relationship. I think he's also
a squad leader because he was not with Hanji during Hanji's experiments, and if he was on her squad, he would have been there? Could it have been... No, he didn't seem like he was, like, against Irwin. No, it seemed more like they're friends, and he knew him better than that.
They wish the walls refused to allow any changes to them, even for defensive purposes. That's weird. And then
the Wallace don't want anything new. It's like no one wants anything to change, or anyone to know anything, or any new inventions, any change to the walls, any change to the society. It's like the walls are basically like a metaphor for society, like in the Wallace way. Like Wallace don't want anything new to change or touch or affect the walls, and it's like that's like a broader metaphor for the entire like higher up society.
Yeah, 100%. Did they tell you in this episode which Titan was which? I know
this one's the Bean was the 7.
Yeah, and you said
Bean
Sonny
took
was the
longer
4.
to.
Did they say that in this episode?
They said that Bean took longer to.
Did they identify which was which in this episode?
Yes, I think. Oh, I don't know if they directly said.
Okay,
but it looks like Bean's bigger. Because look how small Sonny is.
This is the bigger one, right? And that's Sonny?
No, that's Bean.
That's Bean?
R.I.P. to Sonny and Bean.
Honestly, kind of?
Interesting with this story about humans eating and killing other humans.
So that's like crazy interesting to me because I don't know. Obviously, she has the knowledge of that story. It doesn't seem like it could be just made up, whatever.
I think it was a before the walls time.
You think?
Period.
Because it said that they were captured and executed, no?
But I guess I haven't gotten a picture of how much traveling is done in this society because she said there were tons of travelers and they killed over 500.
Well, they lived in the mountains.
They killed over 500 people.
We know there are mountains within some walls. We do know that there are like
forest villages and mountains in there. You're right. It could have happened in this.
It's very interesting,
who else would have executed them? There would have had to be like a ruling power to execute them.
So they make steaks out of butts. We know butt steak. Awesome.
That's the most important part. I love that people are like probably already heard this before, but they're still vomiting over her telling this story. Yeah.
Sonny, Bean. Okay. And Bean's the bigger one. So then we got the whole like knowledge of they tend to shut down as
At
night approaches.
I don't know why I hadn't even like thought to myself that they haven't been showing up at night.
Correct.
But also, we haven't seen any night fights.
No, and we haven't seen any of them at night. Do they stand outside of the wall still at night, or do they retreat?
Like, retreat to like their homes?
So
wherever their homes are.
It's very obvious that it seems
they might just
that
sit down.
Maybe. If it's very obvious that it seems like the bigger the Titan, the less it, like, I guess,
the more energy it has.
The more energy it has.
Like reserves.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And then it seemed like, we had like a scene of them reacting, right?
It was reacting to pain.
Yeah, and then it seemed like
one was like freaking out over pain, and the other one wasn't even reacting.
It seemed like Bean was freaking out over pain, right?
Which I forget who it was. But during the Battle of Trost episodes, we noted that we weren't seeing pain reactions in the Titans, but then there was one. With like later on, it was one of the. I don't know if it was Levi.
It was Levi because he stabbed him in the eyes.
Okay, it was like during that interaction that we finally saw a Titan actually act like they were in pain.
Yeah,
because we were seeing them get shot with cannons and having to crawl on the ground.
So would that say, or would that suggest that the bigger the Titan, the more emotion, or the more feeling that a Titan could have?
Maybe the more abnormal. Or something, the more developed, the more interesting.
The bigger the Titan here is the one who felt more pain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the smaller one didn't.
So I feel like if you...
The light-headed thing, they're the...
How light they are. That she literally could kick... You shouldn't be able to kick a head like that,
it was light. Extremely light.
And then we saw her holding one of the arms.
The Titan's body... Something that size shouldn't even be able to stand. Much less walking 2 feet.
Yeah. That's so true.
That's true of all of them. I once cut off an arm, and it didn't weigh nearly what it should have. And then she mentioned it towards Eren, right?
Told when you became a Titan, you appeared out of thin air.
So, does that mean a Titan itself, like, while alive, is extremely light? Like, or way lighter than it should be? Or does that only happen when a limb or a part of their body is cut off?
Why have they not experimented with... Well, they could know. They could know how many, like, humans it takes to lift up a body of a Titan when they get, like, a smaller one for an experiment. But maybe they just haven't done that experiment yet. Because you're right. What if it's once you cut something off of them?
Why would they? I don't even think they try to lift up a Titan if they like a smaller one because the risk of it killing them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I don't know if it's when they cut off an appendage or if it's always that way. But then she used that to lead into the. I'm told when you became a Titan, the body appeared out of thin air. What does that mean?
Air, lightweight, I don't know.
There's the animation we got, right? Of it just wrapping or appearing, you know?
Question. When things are cut off of the main body, do they disintegrate faster? I mean, Titans disintegrate really, really fast anyway. But is that maybe a part of why they're lighter once they're, like, separated?
Maybe.
Because they're, like, quickly basically turning into nothing.
Why?
They basically just, like, steam into the air, disappear, evaporate, whatever you want to call it. Like, they never existed to begin with except their bones.
So is it like an illusion thing? Here's the line, right? I believe that the Titans we see and the Titans of actuality might be different things altogether.
Is she saying the Titans we see as in what people perceive them as? and then what they actually are is different? Or what do you
I
think she means
I
by that?
don't know if that's a metaphor or physical, because if I could see both. If it's
Yeah.
physical, this statement came directly after the explanation of the weight of the Titans' bodies, right? So, is it some type of illusion?
Like, we see these giant bodies and these giant beings, but is that what they actually are?
Yeah. I don't know what it could be.
Like some type of puppet suit
Skeleton.
with like air, and like, what if they're just literally filled with steam, and that's how
Like
they're
air
like
balloons
they're
kind
like,
of thing?
Yeah, they're like they're like balloon people.
Then I don't know how deep the illusion would have to be, because like we obviously are able to cut.
And there's blood.
Yeah, we're able to make them bleed, chop off limbs without the whole thing deflating. You know what I mean? I don't know how that would work though. How would there, other than some sort of like magic, like there's nothing that each person.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to find like an actual
I
rooted
know.
in science.
But this is
reason
so
for the
interesting,
Titan
no?
existence.
Because I could see it in this way, like the physical side of it, or maybe like you just suggested, maybe it's more of a they're not as bad as everybody perceives them, or like there's more to them.
I don't know if it's like they're not as bad, because obviously they're doing horrible bad
but
things. It's just like
it's
they're
not as one
just
side.
what they look like.
It's
they
not
are.
as shallow of a reasoning, maybe.
Like, they could just be purely animalistic in some way, and humans are their prey. There could be some weird spiritual reason for it. I'm just shocked by the fact that, like, in my mind, whoever killed the Titans like that would not be people who actually kill Titans. It has to be a higher up military group of people who don't actually face the Titans in their day-to-day life.
Why?
I just have a feeling that a person who actually works to defend this, like the walls, and kill real Titans walking around wouldn't do this.
I feel like they could.
I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me that it would be an actual like soldier that's off fighting.
I mean, they know how to use ODM gear.
Because they want hope. Well, they're all taught. All the trainees are taught how to use the gear.
So you're saying it's somebody who's police and not...
I would say either wall or police, like garrison or police,
Yeah.
and not someone in the scouts.
I agree with you. I'm not too confident when I say I agree with you, because I don't think we've been given enough info, but it would make more sense to me if it was somebody who were police or...
Well, yeah, because also the
wall.
police are directly tied to the people that want to stay in this like
Correct.
bubble.
And they're
so
the people who are
sense.
more higher ups, I guess, in a class way.
They could have even been directed to do so by a actual political leader and not like a military leader.
Yeah. That would... Okay, I get what you're saying there.
It makes you wonder, like, okay, so this has this happened before? They're not acting like it's happened before, because the last subjects they accidentally killed in experimentation. But does that mean that if they hadn't accidentally killed them in experimentation, that this same plan would have happened then?
Have things changed?
Have things changed? Is Aaron's new development
Causing them to be more...
a reaction in making new plans to make sure nothing is found out
Or
about Titans?
this is the old Survey Corps headquarters, right? Was the last experiment...
Is Hanji's experiment being done at the old headquarters too?
I think so. This one?
Yeah.
Maybe? Good question, though.
I think they're just hiding Aaron at the
okay.
old headquarters.
Okay,
I don't
gotcha.
think like all of their operations are there. I'm pretty sure it's just Levi's squad.
You're right. But either way, maybe the other experiments that she did were not in the same place. Maybe they were further away where they couldn't get to her, or the Titans. It's a
Or they could have someone on the inn having a lookout on how the success of this experiment is going.
Yeah.
And they're like, if you notice that the Titan lasted more than 2 days or whatever, kill them.
So
It could be something like
that's
that.
a really good point, because what if it's something that we just found out too? Like, what the information that we just got of these two Titans, what happened right before they died?
We were finding out how their individual emotional reactions were, and that they have different personalities almost, which humanizes them.
different personalities, and that their how their energy levels, I guess, work overnight, and their ones are like more, I guess, prone to emotion than the other and pain.
And once you give human emotions, once you give titles of emotions to them and individual personality traits, then a higher up or someone who hates Titans would be worried that you are then humanizing Titans and would be worried that that would sway public opinion of Titans or something. And they don't want it to be known that Titans might have some things that feel human about them.
Yeah, that's true.
Because then there could be a separate religious sect that starts up that says we can't kill Titans. You know?
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
So the people who killed the Titans got away with ODM gear, and it was this person is saying, I think
Fast enough that no one saw.
It was a deliberate plan involving 2 or more people. So maybe like a KGB, like a inner group of like higher like political like soldiers.
Well, I don't trust the military police for anything. So
I don't either.
I think they're just shady. So, and obviously Erwin even said, "Oh, we don't want the military police being on our backs again," even though that's not what he fully
believes. This is the weirdest part, bro. Like, what do you see? It's like he can't control his emotion here almost. Like, he breaks. What do you think the enemy is?
I like that he says, "What do you
I thought it was going to say who. Yeah.
Because it makes you think that the enemy is an organization or a group of people.
Rather than a person.
Or like maybe even the enemy is an ideal. And
Yeah.
it's not actually people. It's like the enemy would be the religion of walls or whatever, but it's not. I'm just saying it's not like a tangible thing. It's more of like a society, a rule, an ideal.
Do you think that's why Erwin made sure to get one of his seemingly most trusted people, being Levi, out of the underground? Like, he was a thug, a famous thug in the underground. Obviously, he doesn't go with the ordeals of like corporate or like the head, you know.
It makes you wonder if Erwin has specifically picked a lot of these people, like Hanji, Mike, Levi.
What do you think the enemy is, bro? Like immediately, my only thought is political leaders, like the people at the top.
That's the first thought you go to.
What didn't we have one scene of people sitting in a castle around a table
that was
talking?
Like episode freaking like
3 or something.
That was more like I would say those were Lord level maybe, because we saw like that guy in the castle playing chess with Commander Dot
I think
Pixies.
that's a good, not like saying that those people specifically are who I'm talking about here.
Yeah, but higher than them.
That's a good image that I have in my head of the people who he could be referring to. Like the people who are sitting in a castle somewhere, who are higher than them, who are just sitting around a table, who want to keep their wealth in the way that things are.
Mm-hmm. It makes complete sense that the people in the Scouts would be the weirder, not even really, just more curious, more like open to learning more information, more adaptable.
Well, it seems like the Scouts are, I'm generalizing based off of what Levi said and just Levi alone. It seems like the Scouts are more of connect more with the people who are not as well off in this world. They're the people who are standing up for the little guy in this world. And they're also the same people who are obviously more curious and want answers and are more open-minded.
I mean, they're the ones literally putting their life on the line to fight these things. So of course, any new information, the Scouts are the ones obviously that were more into keeping Eren alive, because they were like, any ounce of hope. We're the ones directly facing these things and going out and trying to retake land and gain things back for humanity. They're the ones that are more open to new ideas, new perspectives, anything that could lead to the betterment of humanity's success and survival.
I wonder why Erwin has the beliefs that he does. Do you think that he's seen something in the outside world? Do you think he's seen something corrupt on the inside of the wall?
He has this energy about him that Pixies did, where it feels like they're wise beyond their years. Like they know things, but they have this pleasant exterior, and they seem to be kind and caring people, and also very good at their jobs, being a leader of people. But it seems like both of them have this kind of like pleasant exterior that's not masking something necessarily, but they have other thoughts or motives or things inside. They've seen things, maybe even. I think they're well aware of the society they live in, and or they're well aware of what the enemy is.
He has solid werewolf energy, bro. Like honestly, like if
It's like the second time you've referenced werewolf in a reaction.
I know but like because like the Andrew Garfield interviews that got popular, he always said like I'm not the werewolf, I'm not the werewolf. It's
a really fun game.
And then we play it all the time. But like the way that I say that because the way that he was talking to Mike, like he was so like easily carrying the face and facade of that belief, which I had only thought was his character.
Yep.
And now I'm like, fuck. Obviously, we know how good he and Levi are at that kind of shit based off of last episode talking to Darius Zackley.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were given so much information this episode. I didn't even...
It was mostly a introduction to Hanji episode.
I didn't even acknowledge the fact that we met Petra.
Yeah. Well, it got really actually more introduced to her other than just kind of... We met her a little bit when we first saw Levi.
Did we?
Yeah, she was the one that Levi was with. Yes.
Okay. I liked getting this info about kills and assists.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
That was bad. I want to write
it's like even if they only had a few kills, they had like 45 assists.
I wonder what dictates an assist.
Must mean that they distracted the Titan for the kill or something.
Did damage, maybe.
Or inflicted some form of damage.
Mm-hmm. I want to get, like, the names down.
I'm not surprised Petra's kills wasn't, like, super high, because it seems like she's more, like, maybe medic.
Yeah. What was you haven't followed all the necessary steps to become my wife. Bro, chill. Petra's cool. I have good vibes about her.
Mm-hmm.
I brag about the rest of you too. Come on. Survey Corps Special Operations Squad.
Well, this really does count as a special operation, doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Petra Rahl.
Yeah.
Rahl?
Good question. I'm sure we will be told how to pronounce it in the comment section. Titan kills 10. Assists 48. They have a fucking...
I love that we're, like, announcing it, like, their stats. I love it.
Bro, this is so cool.
Okay, the next one should be Olu Bozad.
Caillou. Olu Bozad.
Oluo? Bozad.
Kills 39.
39. He's the one aspiring to be like Levi. We didn't get Levi's stats.
Did we get assists for him?
I don't think we did. Maybe he's not. Maybe they have like these are the main. Like,
assist 9.
Maybe they have like. Oh, they do. I was gonna say maybe there are partnerships.
Okay, we got 2 more. You're right. We did not get Levi. I am scared to know.
Eldo Jin. Love the hairstyle.
I do too. I like his scruff too. How many kills? I was looking at his hair.
Oh, I was looking also at his
14.
hair. Kills 14. I think his assists were in the 40s. 32. Ah, darn it.
This is crazy.
And then Gunther Schultz. That's the name that I wrote down. It's the only one I got because I was like, what? Stats?
So much information.
Kills 7.
Kills 7. Assists 40.
Doesn't it kind of sound like they're partnerships a little bit?
No.
Or do you think there's like distraction? They might have like actual sections
like
within
roles.
them where it's like these are the assisters and these are the killers.
Like, yeah, it's like the Eldo, Petra, like Eldo and Gunther are like sentinels. Petra's a healer. Bozad's a duelist.
Well, she's a healer that can also assist.
Healers get assists.
Yeah.
Bozad's KD is nuts, bro. I wonder what Levi's is. Like, you have to wonder, right?
Yeah.
Bozad's trying to, like, simp for him and try to be like, oh, like, I'm gonna act all cool like him, which leads me to believe that his kills are insane. Insane. We got so much information,
We
bro.
did. I also, like, was super interested in Hanji's feelings of basically having a lot of trouble with the fact that she had to torture these things in order to get scientific information and improve her hypothesis. It was interesting, and they were like, why are you screaming too?
Yeah. It's really interesting, like, how she was saying that, like, she started all of this for, like, out of hate, right? And
What changed her? Oh, what changed her
was-
mind was kicking the head,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, because she was like, wait,
it
why
was-
is this way?
It was doubt.
Questions.
It was questioning and doubt
Which
that
is
changed
what
her
the society does not want you to do, is question things.
God, this is so analogous to our life, to our society, to our world.
I mean, doesn't it make you think that if Titans really did show up in the real world, this is probably some of the things that would happen? I think so. I think there would be a religion about the walls. I think a lot of this could be really realistic to
If
human
Titans
nature.
showed up in our world, I would think it was the higher ups who made them.
Like in a lab,
Yeah.
and released them to be able to keep us all as cattle. Like,
Yeah.
isn't that what Aaron says? We're all like cattle inside the walls.
I thought it was.
I mean, what if they did? What if in this show they made all these Titans as a way to keep people
fucking
and like
backfired.
tax money?
Yeah.
You know, they're lining their pockets
Yeah.
with keeping all these people in this.
I wonder if they have like a getaway then, like a Noah's Ark kind of thing, like a 2012.
So actually, technology is really, really advanced, and the castle that the main leaders are in will blast off into space if the Titans ever get too close.
Love it. Shit, dude. I like how Levi last episode compared Aaron to like a dog, you know, gotta train him. And in a similar way, I guess Hanji
Thinks of Titans
as
as
pets,
dogs, pets. Yeah,
but like in a very
she
positive
was calling them
manner.
boys,
Yeah. I feel
but they
so
don't.
bad
They
for
don't
her.
even like.
God,
I wanna
can't
know more
believe
about-
their head's light.
I want to know more about the sunlight
I
thing.
mean, it sounds like plants, no? Like
Yeah.
photosynthesis. It's
It-
like, what do they do when it's dark? Obviously, they're.
I mean, why wouldn't? Does that mean the special operations moves at night?
That would make the
It'd make
most
a lot of
sense.
sense.
But they would have to be doing it in dark because we have not seen any source of light other than fire, right?
Yeah, they don't seem to have electricity.
So if that's the case, and I'm
Night
pretty
vision
sure
goggles.
I'm pretty sure they're forced to have to move during the day.
Oh shit.
Obviously, even at night, there are some of them that are still moving.
Oh yeah, the bigger ones.
Yeah.
They still have energy and like ample energy. Interesting. What does that mean for Aaron at night in his Titan form? That's another question. Will his body react? I know he's like obviously different, but does he have some similarities in terms of like how he gets energy?
I don't know, but you also just reminded me real quick. I'm so glad we don't forget about this. Aaron knowing,
And not knowing, but not
Self-inflicting.
knowing how he
Yep.
knows.
which is kind of weird to me because it's like, okay, I understand. Like he did it instinctively. Like when he bit himself, he did that instinctively. So it was like, oh, okay, that I get for not knowing. But then for him to be surprised about it again, okay. Still can't believe it. They say you turned into a Titan, Aaron.
I think it is really interesting that like none of these people seem afraid of him too.
I was so desperate I couldn't think, but the trigger is self-inflicted injury. Self-inflicted.
I know, you gotta emphasize that.
He
'cause
didn't
that's
hurt
important.
himself when he got bit in the one Titan. And like swallowed by him.
Okay, so I know what you're getting at with that, but they also didn't show us him transform. They just showed him reaching up, and then they showed
Okay,
the
you're
arm
right.
coming out of the mouth.
He didn't even have a hand. Okay, he had one.
Self-inflicted injury doesn't
You're right.
necessarily mean on his
You're
hand,
right.
right?
He could have bit his tongue for
Bit his
like,
tongue.
Yeah.
Bit like his arm up the upper
You're
part
right.
of his
You're
arm.
right. You're right. Trigger self-inflicted injury. I take my hand like this. Wait, how do I know this? And then I'm assuming that's from the dad saying
Their memories
will guide you or some shit.
I'm like, who?
Yeah, their memories will tell you how to use it. So that is literally something telling him how to activate it, how to use it.
We've quoted that exact line a few times. I feel like it's gonna keep coming back that like there are things that he says or knows that obviously I think like what's really cool about this show is we're following Aaron and his friends, but we know basically everything that Aaron knows. We don't see really.
We are Aaron.
We are Aaron, I guess, in this show because we don't know any information that didn't like happen to him. Like we see some people's side conversations, but we don't get actual information from them. So like when you think about like Erwin and Mike talking, no actual information or like little nuggets of knowledge were given to us that Aaron couldn't possibly have already.
We are finding stuff out as Aaron does.
Yeah.
Even like I was thinking like, oh, what about when he first came around the corner and hit Mikasa? Aaron didn't know he was doing that. Aaron had no knowledge of him being a Titan, right? So like you're right, we're
either seeing him react to the world or we're hearing his thoughts, and that's helping us learn things as well. Obviously, we get this like little information cards, but he obviously knows those things. He knows how to work ODM gear. He knows what the wall lists are.
interesting imagery.
Yeah, it is interesting imagery. What's the hole?
What hole?
The hole above the person.
It
on
reminds me
top
of
of
the
the wall.
halo.
I was thinking it was like a black hole,
Or a sun.
and like they fell from space. The walls, because God created them. So what if God was like, and they just appeared?
I see.
But like it could be more like a Halo reference or something.
This is also interesting.
Everything's circular, and all the walls are women's names.
That's true.
I wonder if they were named after